Welcome to another episode of the Piano Ninja Tricks podcast. Hi, I'm Lisa Spector, your piano ninja and your host, helping you become a piano ninja where everything feels easier for you at the piano. Today, I'm going to be talking about creating smart practice habits and why it's really important, why it's crucial for your piano success, for you to be able to play and learn the music of your dreams. Also, it feels effortless and brings you great joy, and you're making music from your heart. If you've been with me for a while, you know that everything is about piano ninja tricks, which are basically smart practice habits, allowing you to learn twice as much in half the time. Does that happen overnight? No. Is it so easy you could wake up tomorrow and play the Liszt B minor sonata? No. But with time, when you really practice smart, everything really will feel easier and you will be playing the music of your dreams. Why this topic is ignored so often, I don't know. But I will tell you, when I was growing up, my teacher had lots of practice techniques for me. But as I learned main repertoire, as I was at Juilliard and playing the G minor Chopin Ballade and the Liszt B minor Sonata and Prokofiev's Second Concerto and Fourth Scherzo of Chopin, I'd go into a lesson, and if I had all that music to bring into a lesson, we didn't have time to talk about how to practice. Are you kidding? We talked about interpretation and, all the kind of fun things in music. And that hour lesson was kind of like a summary of my extensive practice hours during the week. In those days, I believe I over-practiced, as most pianists, I believe, do. But I was also learning a lot of major repertoire. And my teacher never heard the most important thing about that week wasn't that hour. The most important thing about that Chopin Ballade wasn't the hour that I had the lesson. It was all the cumulative hours, probably 4 a day, 6 to 7 days a week, that happened in between lessons. And even more so when I studied with Earl Wild, because he traveled so much on concert tours that he only had a small handful, 4 students. And I was very fortunate to be one of them. And so we would have lessons, 2-hour lessons, every other week or so between his travel tours. Now, I will say, Earl Wild, actually, we did spend time on how to practice because a lot of these piano ninja tricks come from him. But in most cases, you are playing music. I don't care whether it's Debussy Reverie, Satie Je n'ai pas d'idée, the Chopin Fourth Ballade, whatever level it's at. In most instances, when you have a teacher and you go to your lesson, you're talking about interpretation. You might have a challenge of a particular technical place, and your teacher will help you with the technique on that section. But the benefit of really practicing smart is it saves you so much time because of this main thing that happens. When you do not have any poor practice habits, you accelerate faster because you start with all good practice habits. So what does that mean? Let's say a poor practice habit would be something, even I created these piano ninja tricks and I found myself doing it. So I'm going to give you an example. Because it's a fairly easy piece for me, I'm accompanying a violinist this Saturday night in a performance of an arrangement of the Bruch Kol Nidre, which is originally written for cello and orchestra, and this is an arrangement for violin and piano. And it's a fairly easy piano part, so it's so beautiful. So I've just been playing it. I really haven't been practicing it. But there's one section I really wanted to master. I didn't like it. It's a section that I wanted to sound like an orchestra, not like a piano. But it was so beautiful, and just arpeggios. Like, I can play arpeggios in my sleep, so I just kept playing it. And it wasn't getting any better. And if anything, it was getting a little worse because it was getting a little sloppy. Can you relate if you've like, had a section of music? It's so beautiful. You just want to play it. You really don't want to practice it. And I thought, Lisa, just apply your own medicine. And first of all, follow this, which is my statement for everything. How can I make this easier? So what I did is I added 2 piano ninja tricks. Now, I can add 2 piano ninja tricks time because these are like breathing to me. I just know them in my sleep. If you're new to piano ninja tricks, I wouldn't recommend doing 2 at a time. I'd recommend doing 1 at a time. And when that 1 piano ninja tricks becomes a habit and you're not thinking about it, then apply the second one. So that it's a much easier way. It seems counterintuitive, like it'll take you longer, but it won't, because when you practice like this, it gets planted in your body and you don't really never need to do this level of detail again, which is it's an arpeggio section in the left hand. I'm going to make it easier for myself by taking off my piano gloves and these long sleeves, and I'm going to show you how I was doing it because it was just so fun. Whereas it was a little sloppy, which is it was just kind of playing it through. Actually, I'm not gonna do that first. I changed my mind. I am going to actually, well, I'll play a little bit of how I was practicing it. And it was a little sloppy, but I could get through it. But it's a solo part. There's no violin here. So this is the biggest solo part in here. And I wanted to sound good. I wanted to sound pianissimo or like it's an orchestra, like it's a harp. So what I did this morning is I combined 2 piano ninja tricks. We've talked, I believe it's episode 3, about quick reflex motion. Quick reflex motion is when you are playing slow, you have a slow tempo, but you're moving in a really direct line really fast. So, but in order to do this for broken chords, I wanted to chunk the chords. So I play it in solid 2 piano ninja tricks. The first is chunking it into solid chords, and the second is applying quick reflex motion to that. So it's going to be a slower tempo, and the third is just left hand for now. So I'm in rhythm, always in rhythm, because everything I do is cyclical rhythm. I believe it was the first thing I ever taught you in this podcast, because rhythm has to come before everything. So I had one. Not worried about dynamics right now. I'm just focusing on 2 things: playing it in solid chords and moving in quick reflex motion. I'm going to try and do it how is what I would represent as not quick reflex motion. Don't do this at home. And I'm really bad at doing things I'm not supposed to. So I guess I don't know how, but I'm going to try. This would be, I'm wasting a lot of movement. I'm not going direct. I'm not doing anything. I'm not getting this in my body at all. I want to get in my body by applying quick reflex motion. I'm moving very directly and quickly. I don't play the F sharp and stay on it. I move quickly to the next thing. That's quick reflex motion. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the right hand because there is some missing main beats, not so much some down beats and some third beats. So I want to have that rhythm a little more solid. So I'm going to add the right hand. Now I know my right hand fifth finger hit a wrong note. I'm not going to correct that right now because that's not my focus. My focus is the quick reflex. Before I play it all as written, then I will correct that. So if I were practicing, I would do that probably 3 times if I weren't on camera. That's how I did it this morning. I did it about 3 times till it started to get more in my body. Then I would go back. So because of my change in my right hand after my fall accident, 7 surgeries for 4 fractures years ago. I can't reach as well in my right hand, so I am rolling some of these chords. This is a solid chord. I can't, it's really hard to reach, so I'd rather roll it. And sometimes I have to leave out a note too. So that I'm also now doing the right hand in quick reflex motion. I can roll that. It's just too much of a strain on my hand. My hand health is always number one. Number one priority. Please make your hand health your number one priority. So I'm going to roll this. So now I'm going to do it just that much as written, slow, under tempo, but I'm going to really focus on the sound I want, the pianissimo sounding like a harp, very, very light, very orchestral. So there's one place there was a hesitation. That's okay. That just tells it's information. I don't beat myself up over that. Please don't beat yourself up over anything that goes wrong. I'm just going to slow it down. The other thing I'm going to do, again, to make it easier, is I'm going to play this a little louder. When you have a section of music that's really soft, definitely be aware of that, but sometimes like sections like this, it's easier to just overplay it first and then back it down. Is close to impossible to do the opposite. So I'm going to play it around a mezzo forte. Now I forgot to slow it down, so it was a little sloppy, and that's okay. I'm going to slow it down now. Get that rhythm really planted. I'm the conductor of my fingers. I'm setting the tempo from my fingers. I'm going to slow it down one more time. I think it could just be a little cleaner. So I'm going to set that tempo. Bum. So this is, I will tell you, I just started practicing like that today. Today's Wednesday. This performance is Saturday, so I have plenty of time to get it cleaner. I'm not worried about that so much right now. I'm just really focusing on the things I'm talking about, of just one at a time. So now I'm going to play it a little bit softer, just a little bit. It's going to go to piano, and eventually it's going to be pianissimo. So now it felt pretty good. I'm going to bring it down to pianissimo. So that was a little sloppy in the second section. Again, I'm not beating myself up. This is what happens in my practice time. So then everything I did for that second 2 sections, everything I did in that first section, I'm going to do off camera with both sections. So that is how I break things down and make it simpler and apply my Piano Ninja tricks one at a time. And it is crucial to your success to really create smart practice habits. All of this, today's Wednesday. I imagine if I practice it for 15 minutes tomorrow on Thursday and 15 minutes on Friday. That's all it's going to need to be planted in my body, to be working in motor memory, certainly for Saturday and well beyond that, because your body doesn't forget this kind of practicing. It's really important. And I'd love to know what you're working on that you could create smarter practice habits for. And just choose one section like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's like 8 measures or something. Just choose a small section that you can apply really smart practice habits for. Put it in the comments below and look forward to hearing about your progress. And if you want more of my piano ninja tricks so that you can apply directly to music that you are working on, next week I will be sharing 2 choices for you of how to incorporate these piano ninja tricks into your precious piano time, so that you can be learning twice as much in half the time. Unlike the Piano Ninja Tricks mini course that I did a week or 2 ago, this is a different kind of program where you're not watching videos. It's more access to me directly. And I will be sharing that. If you want that information, it will be coming soon. And if you sign up for it at pianoninjatricks.com, not only will you for free be getting my Piano Ninja fingering tricks, but you'll also be the first to hear about these programs and some offers I have for you next week that will be starting on Wednesday of next week. And I'll be sharing them in next week's podcast as well. So look forward to that. And really, I just look forward to helping you play the music of your dreams with joy and with ease. And that's what my Piano Ninja tricks do for you. So your practice, it's not only your playing is enjoyable, but your practicing is so enjoyable. Thank you so much for listening. I know there's a million things you could be doing with your time, and I really appreciate you spending it here. I'm Lisa Spector, your Piano Ninja.